Michael Zarafa, finally, mate.
Finally.
Good to see you.
Likewise. You been well?
Yeah, I've been
Always
pretty good.
looking well.
Pretty good, mate. Pretty good. And likewise, don't worry about that.
Appreciate it, thank
So next week, 12th March, you're fighting Bazira A-Y as in A.
Correct, yep.
I presume that's how we pronounce
Correct,
his name.
yeah. I think so.
But what do you know about him?
Look, I know he's a tough German. He's coming to upset the party. He's got everything to gain, nothing to lose. So
Stuff that.
yeah, well, for me, like I said, and this is my first fight with No Limit as a signed fighter, and you know, I could have picked anybody, and I chose a tough guy in 19-1 and had 18 straight wins. So he's coming with full confidence, and I actually bumped into him at Coles before, and he was right behind me. Yeah, and he was right behind me in the line. And look, he seems nice, and he didn't have anything bad to say. But I think come fight night, he's gonna trying to derail me and take what's rightfully mine, I think.
So, and you're fighting for a title. So what is the title we're
It's
fighting?
a WBO Intercontinental.
Yeah, so if you win this fight, which we all hope you do, Australia hopes you do, what's on for 2025 after that? Where do you see yourself going?
Look, I've got a good plan in place with No Limit, and I'm grateful for them giving me the opportunity. You know, we want a world title. You know, I've been there last year and sadly fell short in Vegas, and I fought a killer in Erislandy Lara, but that's the goal. You know, I want to be a world champion, and you know, I fell short. So I'm still top 10 in the world, and you know, 1 or 2 wins will get me straight back up there.
Yeah, so in terms of the prep for next week, how's your preparation been going? Like weight, etc.?
Everything's on track. I mean, I know every fighter says it, that it's the best they've ever felt, but this fight camp, I truly believe it has. I've matured, I think, as a fighter, and I'm just trying to be a little bit more quiet and behind the scenes instead of up front and loud. And
Well, you have been in the past. I mean,
yeah, well, that's my job. Sadly,
because you're in the entertainment business.
correct, you know, and I've got to be the villain and play that role. But I think it's not really me, you know, and I think people, despite, you know, the hate that I get and the villain role and stuff, I think people are starting to see that it isn't actually me. And yeah, like I said, I just want to see out the rest of my career as the humble fighter I am and give my absolute all.
Well, what influence do Matt and George Rose have on you in terms of, they're the No Limit guys, and have on you in terms of helping you to pitch who you really are as an individual, and not so much in the ring, I'm talking about outside the ring, and so that you can actually be the person you really are, as opposed to being the villain?
Yeah, of course. Well, I think they say to me I've got the gift of the gab of the talking game. So I think when, you know, before the press conferences and stuff like that, they kind of give me that little bit of push to, you know, pump it up a little bit and stand your ground. And, you know, I'm all for it until, you know, it gets out of hand. But lately, every time it's happened, things have gotten out of hand. So I'm just tired of it, you know. I'm tired of you know, going there to fight, but then something else ends up having to, you know, pop up and just turn sour. So I rock up with a smile and a wave and business.
And do your talking in the ring?
Yeah, do my talking in the ring, you know. And look, I've backed it 99% of the time, but I just feel like, yeah, it's tiring.
Have you been able to get enough and good quality sparring in?
100%. You know, we've flown guys in. I've been sparring the last 10 weeks, twice a week. You know, 12 rounders, 10 rounders. I've clocked over 150 rounds, I reckon.
So how old are you now?
I'm 32.
32. So you've got plenty in you.
Yeah, I still feel great. Like I said, this is the best I felt like I've matured. You know, trying to worry about the media and trying to worry about this and that, and it kind of took away a little bit from what I was actually doing in my goal. And then I sat back the last few months and said, you know what? I'm a boxer. I'm not an entertainer. I'm not an actor.
I'm not a media personality.
Correct, or I'm not an actor. You know, so I've just focused solely on the boxing, and I've been happier.
It's funny, I was just talking to Tim Zhu, and Tim was sort of saying the same thing. He said, I feel a humility and a maturity.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I'm getting that from you too.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And even for once, even if people, you can watch back on the interviews, I actually said nice things about Tim, and me and Tim obviously don't see eye to eye, but yeah, I don't know, like it's tiring. You know, we train so much, we put our bodies on the line, and it's so taxating on the mind. You know, 24/7, go. We don't switch off, and that's why I said to myself, you know what, I can switch. I'll switch off. You know, so that's what I've done.
You got to own it yourself.
Yeah,
you got to take control. No one's going to do it for you.
That's what I mean. Yeah,
a bit like when you're in the ring, you got to do that for yourself. No one's going to do that for you.
And I just find it so much easier.
Yeah, it's funny because I was talking to Tim's manager, and we were talking about that fight he had late last year, and where he fought the Russian guy, and he said part of the issue was that he had to do all the interviews because the Russian guy.
Yeah.
And that is a big toll.
Well, that's what I'm doing. Like, obviously, I love the interviews because obviously you meet guys like yourself and you meet new people, and it's great. But yeah, when you got to kind of sell it and
Yeah.
have to like
Selling is the part.
that's and apparently I'm great at that. I've got the gift and the gab, they reckon, but it is tiring.
Yeah.
And it does put additional pressure, and it's hard work, and I feel like lately it was affecting my performance.
Yeah.
And now I want to go out there and just be cool, calm, collected. The old Michael Zarafa, I believe, is back, and we'll see you next week.
What do you reckon is going to happen? I mean, you're planning for to do every round, or you're going to have to sort of step it up early with this dude?
Look, I think he's going to be tough, and he's going to come try bring it. But I think as soon as he feels the speed, the power, and there's levels to this sport, and I don't think he's at my level, respectfully. But I think as soon as he feels that power and that timing, I don't think he's going to be in there longer than 4 rounds.
And what sort of levels of study do you do on your opponent, Leg A?
A lot. We have my team watch it. I watch it, and it could be just even when you're on the couch, you just have a look, you just watch it, and then 2 or 3 days later, you're watching it again.
Do you take notes? Do you sit down and take notes?
100%. When he drops, I'm not going to say too much, but there's a lot of things, and we all do as fighters. We all have faults. But I think I've worked out his.
So when you're in there, irrespective of what you worked out, it could be a whole new game once you're in the ring, because what you see on video might not actually translate on the night once you're in the ring. How do you do your adjustments? Because I was talking to Brock Jarvis before, and Brock used to have Jeff in every corner, the corner of every fight he's ever had. Now on this occasion, he's not going to have him. Brock said to me, "Well, Mark, this is not my first rodeo. I've been doing this for 11 years. I know what I'm doing. I know how to adjust at the end of each round. I'll be able to, sit on the stool, get back, and I'll make adjustments." How much do you rely on your corner?
For me, I see them as just another pair of eyes, another mouth, another voice. But again, then you got to come out that next round and apply all that. And sometimes the trainers might say, "Oh, Mick, I want you to do this, and it's a lot to take in. So for me, I just literally go round by round. And when I'm in there, I just try to focus on my breathing. Sometimes I even talk to myself in the ring. I'm in there and I'm got my hands up, and I'll just tell myself what the game plan was, or remind myself, it's all right, just do this, or take a step back and readjust, or I'll pick up the pace. So if I'm unsure on what's going on, I'll either pick up the pace or slower the pace.
So change it up, change it down.
Just to readjust, to make him feel a little bit uncomfortable.
And see what his reaction is?
Correct, yeah. Drop in the feints in there, or if you're completely unsure, just keep the distance. Just back on the outside and come from a different angle and try to, resuss the puzzle. But you do rely on them to an extent.
Well, we've got a lot of Australians fighting on the 12th for us, and then we've got the Tim Tszyu fight in April. We've got a lot of Australians fighting this year for No Limit. No Limit's got a great card on the 12th. Again, in April, we've got a great card too. I wish you the very best, Michael.
God bless.
It's
Thanks
really
very much.
Good to see you, mate.
Likewise, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.